I am Adrian Ochoa, and welcome once again to our weekly series with UTEP head football coach Dana Dimel. This segment is sponsored by Speaking Rock. Now, a lot to get through as the Miners enter week 2 with a tough opponent ahead in the Texas Longhorns. I'd like to bring in head coach Dana Dimel for the Miners. Thank you for stopping by, Coach.
Adrian, thanks for having me. Great to be here. Good feeling, 1-0 right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, as you mentioned, you head to Austin with a 1-0 record. What did it mean to you and your players just to get that win against Stephen F. Austin on Saturday?
Oh, it's so important, Adrian, to start off a season with a win. I could just see the whole attitude of the team. Our locker room was just a great place to be in Saturday night after the game, especially the way we won the game. You know, starting off, obviously we didn't have all the practices we needed to get ready. We were very much short, and you could tell early in the ball game the speed of the game was catching up to us a little bit. But then we made some great adjustments. The players hung in there, did their stuff, and came back and played some really good football in the second half.
And what were some of the takeaways that maybe some of the things you need to work on for this week?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, I think just, again, getting adjusted to the speed of play, getting some synchronicity in our offensive line play on our combos and those sort of things. And, playing with the kind of pace that we need to play with as we amplify the competition this week against the University of Texas.
Well, one of the big storylines, Deion Hankins, the former Parkland Matador, over 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. I mean, just your thoughts on Hankins' performance on Saturday.
Adrian, he's been having such a great camp. All right, and so much with the way you practice is the way you play, and he looked like that the whole camp, and then he goes out and shows it in the game and got himself really rolling. And that one run he made, that's about as good a run as you're ever going to see, just bulldozing people over. And then he had another one where he made a great cut and outran the secondary and got a big run off of that. So he was the things he did was very multiple talented.
Well, looking ahead now, a big challenge against Texas out of the Big 12 Conference. What are you expecting from those Longhorns?
Well, I see what kind of program they have. I have a lot of respect for Tom Herman. I know he's a great ball coach. He prepares his teams very well. They have a ton of talent. They finished up their season last year beating Utah in the bowl game. Utah was a team that was in the bowl playoff picture for a long time and finished number 11th in the country, and they beat them 38-10, and then they played 2 teams from our conference last year. They were ahead of Rice 31-0 midway through the second quarter, and they were ahead of our divisional champs 38-0 La Tech at the end of the third quarter. So that puts it in perspective, the tests we have ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. Does it give you an advantage? This is going to be Texas's first game of the season. You already have a game under your belt. Does that give you a bit of an advantage heading into this game?
It's good for us. It's a good thing for us that we have this game. Like you said, we really needed to adapt to how fast the game goes, and you can't simulate in practice. So that's been a positive for us. On the flip side, they have a lot of new coaches on their staff, so we're not super familiar with what they're going to be doing schematically.
Now, there's not going to be a band. There's only 25% capacity at their stadium. Does that, in a way, give you also a bit of an advantage as far as getting those plays out? It's still going to be a big atmosphere to play in, but not as big as it would normally be just with the reduced capacity and then no band, that additional noise that goes into it. Do you think that will make it a little easier for you guys to get your plays in, that sort of thing?
Definitely. 70,000 less people in the stadium. That's a big thing for us, but we're excited because it will be a big crowd, for where anybody's going to play in front of this year. So it'll be a great environment for our players, but the noise shouldn't be as difficult to handle.
Obviously, you'll be the underdog in this game, but what do you expect to take away at the conclusion of this game? What are you hoping just to get from this?
It parallels a lot of seasons where I feel like now our team's really starting to turn the table, and you get a big game like this, it really helps to make your team better, because they can compete at the highest level. And I think no matter the outcome of the game, we're going to get better from this weekend playing such a high level of competition, and we'll know what our strengths and weaknesses are more, and we can work on them moving into the next week. So I think there's so much to gain from this ball game right now.
The way I figure, Coach, it's 2020. Anything can happen, really, as we've learned this whole year. So you just never know. My thanks to Coach Dimel for taking the time. Thank you very much, Coach.
Adrian, thanks. Good being here.
We'll send it back to you.